people are gonna think I'm an alcoholic. Not that they'd be wrong. Anyway, hey there. Name's Alex, and I'm no economist, but I'm also not a software engineer. However, that has not stopped a lot of people who have no idea about programming, writing code, or IT in general from talking about AI. Everyone has a take on AI. By the way, I should probably read this book at some point. It's called The Perspective of Artificial Intelligence by this guy, who I'm probably going to have to how do mirrors work? How does a flipped image work? By the way, I'm going to have to talk to this guy, interview him at some point, get his contacts. That'll probably be on Walt Bulgaria, the site that I write for. But a lot of people seem to be talking about artificial intelligence, and what the leftists use the topic of artificial intelligence is to say that it's going to probably leave people without a job, and that's probably going to have to result in the institution of some form of universal basic income, because people are going to be left without a job due to technological progress. So technological progress is going to bring about the leftist socialist Star Trek style utopia, luxury space, fully automated luxury space communism. By the way, if you see some stuff on my face, no, I did not get in a fight. That's from the mosh pit on Saturday. Today's Monday, 27th of November, as I'm recording this. I was on a concert. The band's called Antifreeze, or Coolant Liquid. That's the name of the band in Bulgarian. That was some mosh pit action there. Everything hurts still. My lumbago, the gout, etc. I'm nearing 35 and I'm already an old man. I'm squeaking. So yeah, this not a fight, mosh pit. Believe me, if you will. So a lot of people think that due to technological progress, specifically AI, humans are going to be left without a job, because the machines, the robots, and the AI algorithms are going to be doing all the menial labor that humans do right now. Unless for a moment, I'm just going to use Google for a second. Human population growth chart. Let's see one. Yeah, I think this one works. Okay. I'm gonna share the screen for you. One moment. Yeah, you should be seeing this chart here. Oh no, I think I shared the wrong window. Yeah, should be this one. Okay, now you should be looking at a chart that shows the growth of the human population on Earth. This is by 2017. I think we've already passed the 8 billion mark. And if you look back, something like 200 years back, or a little longer, before 1850, there were less than a billion people living on Earth. And if you look even backwards, even by the time of the 1000s, there was less than half a billion people on Earth. And looking here, out of these almost a billion people, almost 90% or even more than that were engaged in agriculture, in subsistence farming. I'm going to stop sharing the screen now. And soon after that moment, we developed mechanized agriculture, mechanized farming, things like tractors, plows, harvesters, etc. And that has allowed for the massive explosion of human population on Earth from around a billion to passing 8 billion right now, and moving from over 90% or maybe even over 95% of all humans being engaged in agriculture, subsistence farming. That means basically growing all the food you eat and having barely any leftover to sell and trade for other things. That was the life of over 95% of humans living before the mid 19th century. And yeah, everyone at that time was employed because of that. And today, over 80 at over 8 billion people, today less than 5% of humanity is engaged in farming. That's growing crops and raising livestock. And less than 5% are responsible for creating the food that the rest of us 8 billion people on this earth eat. And if you want full employment today, we can just scrap and get rid of mechanized farming. Everyone or the survivors will be busy plowing the fields and occasionally growing an animal, because throughout most of history, uh, most of people who farmed, most of their diet was vegan. You hardly had any meat or any animal products like eggs, milk, cheese, etc. So get used to that life, and there's a 1 in 8 chance that you'll survive, and 7 in 8 chance that you would not be alive. Also, there's one person that we should pay respects to, Norman Borlaug, a person who, through selection, managed to create different sorts of rice. That he is probably responsible single-handedly for feeding more than a billion people. Hats off to Norman Borlaug for selection of rice. And haven't checked recently if he's alive still, but I think one of his comments about GMOs, another thing people don't like, is that if we want to feed the future humanity, the future populations of the earth, GMOs are the way to go. We just can't get around GMOs. But anyway, back to AI taking your job. If you're worried that AI is going to take your job, maybe you do have reason to worry if you're replaceable. If you're not replaceable, if you are replaceable, you need to make yourself irreplaceable. You need to make yourself essential. So make yourself future proof and technology proof. Otherwise, uh, if if your occupation isn't future proof, maybe your alternative is to be flexible, because the machines march, technological progress marches. I don't know if we're going to have luxury fully automated space communism, and if we want to have fully automated luxury space communism where we're entirely dependent on the state to provide for us through basic income. But the leftists will tell you that capitalists who are going to be developing capital in the form of automated machines and computer algorithms who produce everything and do all the jobs that you currently do, and that's why you're going to need basic income to be able to pay those. They're going to be in bed with the government and the state anyway, so the state is going to keep you dependent on basic income, which you're going to pay almost all of it for the products and services of big corporations who own all the means of production, so it will be a closed loop. There will be a uniting of big corporations and the state, and you're just going to think that so that the state is defending your interest against big corporations. They have always been in bed and are going to stay good bedfellows. So do not rely on the state to protect you from big business. That's not going to happen. Big business is going to use the state as as a baseball bat and a bludgeon and a weapon against you. Be on the lookout for that. But still, I don't believe actually that we are in that much danger of artificial intelligence leaving us without any sort of work and dependent either on big corporations or on the government. Because why? Why is that? Every previous technological revolution and rapid explosion of technological progress has resulted in more employment and more people having to do more work than the opposite. When has a technological development left anyone without a job? Now, maybe the automotive industry and the automotive assembly line has left people who produce horse-drawn carriages without work, but those people could retool, requalify. You know, actually, what the first people who are left out of a job by a robot, what their observations were how they reacted. Well, their reaction was, now I'm going to go do something more creative as a job. I'm going to have some more creative work, because you know what the first jobs that robots left people out of? Monotonous, repetitive, boring, heavy, uh, labor intensive work on an assembly line, which was basically something like picking something up from over here, putting it over here, and doing the same thing once every second for 8 hours. That was your job for 8 hours. Aren't you glad the robot is doing that now? Well, you should be. And resistance to technological progress and advancements has been around since even the 18th century, since the first technological revolution. The Luddites who were breaking the first textile machines because they were thinking that they were going to be leaving them out of work, because in that time, in that generation, they would be the first people who have migrated from the countryside to the cities to look for jobs in the cities and the factories, like either in manufacturing or mining, and specifically in the textile industry. But the first textile machines threatened to leave a lot of people without work, and that's why they revolted against them and they broke a lot of those machines. But eventually, those machines ended up winning, and there's a lot more people now there than there were back then, and most of those people do have an occupation today, because you know what happened? The service industry showed up, and so manufacturing grew up until a certain point where automation, first mechanization came along, which machines took the jobs of people, and that resulted in an explosion of labor productivity. More stuff was being produced by less labor. And what happened after that? The service industry showed up, and now people are doing not so much manufacturing work, but more service related work. And you're thinking to yourself, maybe now artificial intelligence is going to take up, and full automation run by artificial intelligence is going to take up a lot of jobs from people in the both in the manufacturing fields and in the service fields. But have you ever talked to an AI? For example, in customer service, have you noticed that a lot of customer service is becoming automated by artificial intelligence and algorithms? What the future is going to be, people, in my opinion, are going to be paying a premium to talk to a person at the other end. And that means that that person is going to be employed and have a job. And in the modern, fully automated world, do you know, have you heard that people will pay a premium for handmade things, things that were crafted? So there will be an even bigger market for those things, and people are going to be paying people are going to be paying the human premium for the human touch. People want to interact with humans, they don't want to interact with algorithms, and so there will still be what people can do. And I believe that industry 4.0 will still result in a massive explosion in opportunities for people, humans like you and me. Even though I don't own a lot of robots and I don't have the intellectual rights to a lot of AI algorithms, people like you and me are still going to have plenty of opportunity to earn money using these and this. So stay positive and don't stop developing yourself. Be agile, be flexible, be adaptable, and what else? Yeah, don't be afraid, except unless the state. Yeah, be afraid of the state. Be pessimistic of the state, and never trust the state. So the video about why taxation is theft is going to be up at some point. Maybe no, that'll probably be in English as well. That won't be in Bulgarian. Yeah, what else? Yeah, more videos to come. Like this one, share it. Leave me a comment below. Tell me why I don't understand and why we need universal basic income to stave off poverty and starvation when the machines take all our jobs. And maybe I should, in the future, develop the topic of AI not just replacing us in the workplace, but totally supplanting us. But those are topics for maybe other videos. I'm going to need more whiskey at some point. Yeah, I'm drying up the bottle. So yeah, like this video, share it around, comment, subscribe to the channel for more videos. There's links below to support the channel and my future work. I'm saving up for a better camera, maybe even better lighting, better backgrounds, and the time to spend to learn some editing software that's also in the works. Yeah, and be careful in the mosh pit. That's it. See you.